Welcome to the Capital Area School Development Association Virtual College Fair. We're so glad that you're here with us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You may use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. You don't have to wait until a certain institution is presenting. If you have a question for any or all of our institutions, go ahead and use that Q&A button and our presenters will keep an eye on it. Your camera and microphone are off, so panelists cannot see or hear you today. This is one of many different sessions happening today and tomorrow, so please be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And then this presentation and all of the other presentations are being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/CASDANY. I'll put that link in the chat for you all. All right, but now we're here for our main event, which is to hear from our wonderful institutions. And we're going to get started today with the College of St. Rose whenever you're ready.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm just going to share my screen. There we go. Hopefully you can all see that okay. My name is Matthew Stabler. I'm an Associate Director for Undergraduate Admissions at the College of St. Rose. St. Rose is a liberal arts college with around 2,500 undergraduate students and 1,500 graduate students. We're located in Albany, about 10 minutes from downtown Albany and about 10 minutes from the suburbs. We specialize in a personalized education that will use our highly qualified faculty and our small class sizes to deliver rigorous coursework to our cohort of students. And when you combine those two, you really get some powerful outcomes. While I'm mentioning some numbers, about 92% of our faculty have a PhD or a Master of Fine Arts, but our favorite number is 0. There are no graduate students teaching undergraduate students and no teaching assistants in the classroom. So when you combine that top-notch faculty with small classroom sizes, you get a really powerful result. Those faculty will know the students by their first names. If you miss a class, then they are certainly going to miss you, and then they will pick on you a little bit next week and give you some tough love. We have a popular range of liberal arts degrees. Just for example, English, history, political science, communications, psychology, computer science, and biology, just to name but a few. In our Heather School of Business, we have 7 different business degrees like marketing and finance. In our Lally School of Education, we have degrees that will qualify you to teach from birth through to 12th grade with special education, which is an awesome service to provide and looks amazing on your resume. A quick fun fact, about 1/3 of the Capital Region teachers graduated from the College of St. Rose. We have some new and niche programs that stand as apart as well. We have a nursing degree, plus an RN to BSN degree that's coming soon. We have a degree in sales and a certificate in fraud and forensic accounting. We have communication sciences and disorders program to become a speech pathologist or a speech therapist. A music industry degree, which is ranked number 10 in the country and requires an audition, has its own music record label, and we press our own vinyl records. Another fun fact, one of our students placed number 7 in American Idol last year. We have cybersecurity, criminal justice, forensic science, and forensic psychology, plus our own mock trial courtroom and a cold case analysis center. Moving on to campus life, our students live in dorms, they live in houses, suites, and apartments. And first-year students are allowed to park their car on campus. Over 100 different official and unofficial clubs are on campus that are both social and academic in nature. For example, we have a psychology club and a pre-med club. We also have board games, video games, and an adventure club. We have 19 athletic teams that compete in the NCAA Division II level. Before the pandemic started, our men's soccer team made it to their to the championship game, and our women's soccer team were national champions in 2011 and were recognized as a Northeast 10 program of the decade after winning 8 divisional championships. We have an esports team with semi-professional players that compete in Overwatch and League of Legends, plus a junior varsity and a club team. We take advantage of our location with internships, job opportunities, right on our doorstep, plus community service and entertainment, all in one small city that's easy to get around with free buses to the St. Rose students. Our average GPA for a first-year student is around an 89. The average GPA for a transfer student is around a 3.1. Our first-year scholarships range from $16,000 up to $22,000 per year, and our transfer scholarships range from $8,500 up to $14,500. So after I receive the contact information, then I'll email you a quick guide to St. Rose that will cover the highlights. When you put our powerful combination of strong academics and learning environment, plus an excellent location and affordability, our students realize that there's a value in a St. Rose education.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, the College of St. Rose. That was great to get us started here. We are now going to hear from Russell Sage College, whenever you are ready.
One second, and I will share my screen. Well, I hate to do this, but my Zoom is not allowing me to share my screen now.
Perhaps, do you think that it's something you could resolve? Should we try to move to the next institution and try to come back?
Yeah, let me, if I can, hop out and hop back in maybe.
Okay, yeah, that works for us. Maria College, would you mind taking over?
Thank you so much.
Hi, yes, I'd happy to jump in here. I will go ahead and share my screen. Let's see here.
Thank you so much, Maria College. We appreciate your flexibility.
Of course, yes. Let me go ahead and start the slideshow from the beginning. My name is Cassandra Metcalf. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions here at Maria College. Maria College is located in Albany, New York. We're a private college established in 1958. We have about 900 students on average per year, so we're quite a small institution. We're also commuter. So if you're within the local area, we have people in the range of 60 miles that travel to us and commute for school. We have about a 14:1 student to faculty ratio. So our class sizes are small. Not only is the population of the school small, but we like to keep an intimate experience for the students as well. We offer certificate, associates, bachelor's programs, all the way up through our brand new master's program in the healthcare field specifically, founded in liberal arts. And 95% of our students find in-field employment or pursue continuing education following the months of their departure from the school. And I think that says a lot about the healthcare field right now, currently especially, but in the past as well. There's definitely no shortage of job availability post-grad. Now, the degrees and programs that we offer, I mentioned, range from certificate through master's, starting with practical nurse certificate or your LPN. We also have associate's degrees in liberal arts, nursing. That gets you everything you need to become an RN. We also offer an OTA, associate's program. In addition, we also offer bachelor's programs in healthcare management, health and occupational sciences, liberal arts, and psychology. Finally, we do offer an RN to BSN completion program that's designed for students who do have their associate's degree in nursing already and are looking to continue on to a bachelor's degree. And lastly, occupational therapy master's degree is a new program for us starting just last fall. And that is built to be done on the weekends. And that is one of the very few weekend OT master's programs in the country. Our admissions process, we try to keep as simple as possible. So if you are interested at all and you would like to learn more or apply to a program, the first step is to apply on our website, mariacollege.edu/apply. After that, you'll want to have your official high school transcripts sent to the admissions office. We're also going to request that you send in all official college transcripts if you're a transfer student and looking to transfer any credit in. And then finally, if you're looking to pursue the nursing associate's degree, we do ask for SAT or ACT as an entrance exam. And alternatively, we do have an option to take what's called the TEAS exam. That stands for Test of Essential Academic Skills. Again, this is just for the nursing program, but we know a lot of people haven't had access to the SATs this past year, so there is an option to take the TEAS, and they're still offering that today. And now our nursing and OTA programs do have a priority deadline of March 1st, but we consider applications after March 1st on a case-by-case basis and always encourage students to apply if they're interested. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about Maria, want some in-depth answers to some questions that you might have, you can visit us at our website, mariacollege.edu, or you can schedule a virtual or on-campus visit with me. Again, I can assist you, and my contact information is below, so I'd be happy to arrange a time for us to speak outside. Financial aid is also a very important part of your education, so I always include this in my information spiel. But first things first, I encourage you to fill out the FAFSA application. In the funding options specific to Maria, of course, we do work with loans, federal, state, and private, pretty generic. But we also have endowment-based scholarships on our website that you can apply for separately and just write an additional essay for to be considered. And there's tuition reimbursement through employers that we always encourage people to look into. And then lastly, if there's anything left over on your bill that you cannot afford for any reason or another, we just encourage you to make a phone call into our financial aid office and set up a payment plan through our bursar. That is a little spiel about Maria College. Hopefully you enjoyed. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know.
Great. Well, thanks again, Maria College. Fantastic presentation. It was great to learn more. We are going to head now to Suffolk University. So take it away whenever you are ready.
Awesome. Thank you. So hi, everyone. My name is Brian Denzak. I'm an admission counselor here at Suffolk University. For those who do not know, we are located right in the heart of downtown Boston. And I usually like to describe Suffolk as a great school for a student who knows that they really want to be in a city environment, but they also kind of like a smaller class size and kind of a smaller community environment. Our average class size is 21. So students really get to have kind of a community within the students in their class and with the people that they go and explore Suffolk around on a day-to-day basis. So it's great to kind of have the best of both worlds and being able to go out into Boston, experience all that comes with being in the city, but also being able to retreat back into that smaller community to recharge your batteries before going back out. One really great thing to note as well is that our location really adds so much to our students' academic and social experiences. So whatever program you're involved in, whether you're a graphic design student or you're in the business world or you're in the arts realm, what have you, you'll be working with local businesses and organizations throughout Boston through your classwork. So there are plenty of different opportunities to really get involved within the Boston community as well while you're at Suffolk. And then when it comes to academics, we have two schools, the College of Art and Sciences and the Sawyer Business School. And when it comes to the programs that we offer, we really have a wide variety of different disciplines. everything in the business realm, so finance, accounting, marketing. We have stuff within the arts, so interior design, graphic design. We have a BA in studio art. We have government, politics. We have a law program, stuff within the sciences, what have you. So again, really a wide variety of different programs. What's great as well is our students have access to interdisciplinary education, meaning that say you're a graphic design student in the College of Art and Sciences, but you would really like to take marketing classes in our Sawyer Business School. That's absolutely something that you can do. We really want our students to be able to enhance their skill sets and to really prepare them for their careers once they graduate. And then again, so average class size is 21, and that student to faculty ratio is 15:1. So when it comes to life outside the classroom, we have over 120 different clubs and student organizations on campus. What's really cool to point out about these is that they're all really student run. We do have a faculty member who is assigned to each group, but it's really the students who are the ones who are responsible for making these clubs so successful and running the day-to-day operations. We also have a bunch of different leadership programs on campus, and then we do have Division III athletic teams. So everything from baseball, basketball, soccer, golf, ice hockey, etc. We have our athletic facility in East Boston, as well as our Ridgeway Gymnasium right downtown. And then another important aspect about the Suffolk experience is our study abroad program. We really encourage study abroad if it's something that you think you might be interested in. We offer it in a variety of different ways because we recognize that maybe that typical semester abroad doesn't work for you and your schedule, or maybe it's not something you're interested in. You want that study abroad experience, but maybe not an entire semester. So we have opportunities for students to study abroad for a summer if they would like. There's travel seminars that include a travel component that students can take advantage of. Or if you really want to get a study abroad experience and you want to try and do something more than that typical semester, those opportunities are available to you as well. Again, it's really what you're interested in and what works with your schedule. And then one really unique study abroad experience we have is our Suffolk Madrid campus. So this is Suffolk University in Madrid, Spain. Students can study here for up to 2 years, with the exception of our international relations students, who can spend all 4 years here if they would like. All the classes are taught in English, but students are immersed within the Spanish culture and do take Spanish classes while they're there. They get to travel, so they really get to take advantage of their time while they're studying in Spain. So it's a really cool opportunity if that is something that you're interested in when it comes to study abroad. So when it comes to the application process and financial aid, we really like to do the holistic approach when it comes to the review process. So we really look at everything that's sent to us when weighing our decisions. So we look at your transcript, we look at your essay, your recommendation letters, the activities that you've been involved in, and then your SAT or ACT score if you wish to send that to us. We are a test optional institution, so you do not necessarily have to send us your SAT or ACT score if you do not wish to. It's really what you feel is best and what you believe is the best reflection of who you are as a student. So if you would like to send us your test scores, by all means, send it to us. If you do not wish to do that, you don't have to. Again, it's really up to what you think is best. It won't hurt you either way. And then I will say as well, if you are interested in any of our art and design programs, so interior design, graphic design, that BA in studio art, there is a portfolio requirement for the application as well. You can see all those requirements directly on our website, but essentially it's 12 to 15 pieces, all observational based, and we ask that you limit the photography work that you send us. But again, you can see all of that information right on our website. If you have any questions about what you need to include in your portfolio. And then just lastly, when it comes to financial aid, all students are considered for merit-based aid scholarships during the review. So there is no separate application that you have to fill out. You will automatically be considered for that merit-based aid. And then financial aid, the FAFSA form is required for all need-based consideration. And if there are any questions about financial aid, all students also have their own financial aid counselor. And you can see who that person is on your website. And they are definitely willing to help you and answer any questions you may have when it comes to the financial aid process. So with that, I think that's all the time I have. So let me know if there's any questions and I can answer that later on. Thank you.
Awesome. Great presentation, Suffolk University. Thank you so much for that. We are going to go now to Wheaton College, Massachusetts. Whenever you are ready, take it away.
Perfect, thank you. Just give me one quick second to set up my presentation. Perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Magnolia Maria. Thank you for having me here and for joining us today. My name is Magnolia Maria. As I was saying, I'm an assistant director of admission at Wheaton College, Massachusetts. So to start us out, I figured the kind of easiest direction to kind of go in is to give you some general context and background information about us, in case you're not too familiar with the area that we're in or us as a whole. So Wheaton was founded in 1834, and it was actually all female right up until we became co-ed in 1988. We're a smaller, secular, private, liberal arts institution that's very undergraduate driven. We actually don't have any graduate students on campus. And we currently have a little bit over 1,700 students, 10% of those being international. And as you can see on the slide, we have students from many different states and countries. And one of the really great things about having a smaller campus and experiencing a smaller campus like Wheaton is that you're going to have a really personalized, very individualized experience during your time there and really form a close-knit sense of community throughout your time there. Excuse me, late in the day and I'm stuttering. Our average class size range from 15 to 20, and we have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We are located in Norton, Massachusetts, which I would kind of name as that great middle point between Providence, Rhode Island, and Boston, Massachusetts. Both cities are extremely accessible. Boston is about 35 miles out and Providence is 20 miles out. The train station is only 10 minutes, away from campus, and it's accessible and a resource available to our students so they can use the public transportation in the area for free using their Wheaton ID. Wheaton is actually in Norton, which is ranked one of the top 10 safest communities in the country and has consistently been ranked so. And here I have a couple different snapshots to highlight different aspects of our campus. And one of the biggest differentiators from Wheaton and a couple of different liberal arts institutions in the area, I would say, is our curriculum. The Compass curriculum is something new that we've instilled within the institution in the last year. And this is basically meant to give our students a lot of agency over what their education is going to look like. So there's only 3 major components and 3 things that we're asking for from all of our students. That is a first year experience course, which is basically a how-to guide for college meant to inform students of different resources and such available on campus. A sophomore experience, which essentially students have to engage in outside of the traditional classroom learning. So an internship, a research-based opportunity, study abroad, something that's meant to kind of push them a little bit past their comfort zone in the best way possible. And then you're gonna have your major and your minor requirements that those are gonna be based on whatever area you decide to pursue academically. The idea behind this is, like I said, meant to give students a little bit of agency over what their education is, rather than kind of forcing them to kind of experience a lot of general education requirements that they might not be so passionate about. And we have a couple optional components listed on the left-hand side of the slide as well. This is an extended list of some of our majors and some of our minors that we currently have. Many of our students actually double major. 25 to 30% of our students will actually do this. I get a lot of questions about that. It is definitely something that is possible. Something I also want to highlight is the Wheaton Edge. So we guarantee internships and research opportunities for all of our students by their senior year. The Wheaton Edge offers students a stipend to engage in this opportunity. So it gives them up to $3,000 domestically. And if they find an international opportunity, then they give them up to $5,000. If you find a really great internship that's unpaid, we'll give you the stipend so that you're able to pursue that internship, pursue what you're passionate about, rather than having to kind of settle for another opportunity simply because of the pay. We want to make sure that you're pursuing what's in alignment with your passions. We are in a typical year, 96% residential. I say typical because this last year, because of the current climate and the pandemic, some students decided to, that they would be more comfortable, obviously, with their studies. And right now we do have snapshots of the different residence halls that we have available in our theme houses. We have 19 different residence halls, 16 different theme houses, which are led by students based on different areas of interest. And we do guarantee housing for our students for all 4 years. Related to student life, we have over 100 plus different clubs and organizations, 21 Division III athletic programs in the NUMAC conference. And this slide is just meant to highlight some of the success that our alumni see. So we send out survey to our alumni after graduating. 6 months specifically afterwards, 74% of them are employed or have decided to pursue graduate school and other ventures, as you can see on the slide as well. In terms of applying, it's a pretty simple process. So we are on the Common App. We are test optional. We've been test optional for over 25 years. Our average student snapshots in terms of what we see for GPAs, test scores for those who do make the decision to see them, we see about a 3.52 GPA. And excuse me. And then for those who decide to send them the SAT or the ACT, we see anything from an 1180 to a 1350 or 27 to 831. And then students can also send in a portfolio or do an internship if they think that it would complement their general application. And we have generous scholarships and financial aid as well available for our students. And this is the last slide that I would plug. So it has a QR code that you can use to be made aware of different visit opportunities if you want to participate in an information session, or if you want to sign up for a tour. We're actually offering in-person tours right now for no more than 2 students per tour. So that's an option that's available for you, as well as different spring events that we have available online. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Wheaton College, Massachusetts. It was great to learn a little bit more about your institution. We're going to head now back to Russell Sage College. Go ahead and give it another try.
Fingers crossed. Nope, still not letting me. Well, I mean, worst case scenario, I can talk a little bit about Sage. I don't have a nice background, but you know, this is what happens in this climate. You roll with the punches. So just to talk a little bit about Russell Sage College, we are 2 campuses in the heart of the Capital District. We're actually not too far from St. Rose. We are in a unique position because we do have 2 campuses, one right in Albany and one about 15 minutes away in downtown Troy. Our 2 campuses are quite unique. Our Albany campus does have more green space. It is a little bit more spread out. And by spread out, I mean, it might take you 4 minutes to walk from class to class rather than 2 minutes to walk to class. And our Troy campus is located in downtown Troy, right on the historic Hudson River, the riverfront. And our campus is comprised of a lot of old historic buildings. So each building has its own story and its own little charm that goes with it. We have 50+ bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs, and we have a lot of great strengths in the liberal arts, but in particular health sciences, including nursing, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. We also are very strong in the arts as well as business. So just to talk a little bit about the arts for students that are interested in graphic media design, art and extended media, as well as interior and spatial design. And our programs are comprised of an interdisciplinary approach, which means they are comprised of your core classes that you take in your specific discipline, but you also do get a wide variety of different courses that are widespread across the liberal arts space. So when you graduate, you are a well-rounded student. And we do have a lot of graduate programs through our 3 graduate schools of health sciences, education, and management for students that are already thinking about graduate school. We celebrated our centennial back in 2016. So we have 100+ years in excellence in education. And we encourage students to utilize the cross-campus registration. And what this means is that each campus has its own majors, that the majors typically have their own home base. But as a student, you can elect to take a class in the other campus. I'm actually an alum of Russell Sage College, and I graduated about 10 years ago, which is a little scary to say, but I missed out on the cross-campus registration. And I think it's a really cool feature that students can take advantage of. And it's pretty cool. We do have a shuttle that runs between the 2 campuses. So students don't necessarily have to provide their own transportation to be able to take advantage of the other campus's benefits. We offer great financial support for our first-year students with merit scholarships up to $21,500 per year, and for transfer students up to $18,000 per year. And then in 2018 alone, we invested about $20 million back in institutional scholarships for our students. So we recognize that a private institution does look a little bit more costly, but we really do, as a private institution, invest back into our students. We have an average class size of about 16 students, and average student to faculty ratio is about 11:1. So I know some schools will talk about, you know, you're not a number. You are really noticed when you're in the classroom and when you're not in the classroom. And just a personal story, I missed a class and my professor called me to make sure that I was okay. And I had been sick. I wasn't playing hooky or anything. But that really was my defining moment as a SAGE student to say, hey, you know, I'm noticed here. I'm noticed when I'm around and I'm noticed when I'm not around. We have about 1,300 undergraduate students across our 2 campuses and about 1,200 graduate students. About 87% of our freshmen do live on campus. And as a first-year student, you can have your car on campus too. We did a recent survey with our most recent first-year population, and 98% of our students do feel that our community is welcoming, approachable, and knowledgeable, which is really nice to hear. We do have a couple quick stats that I will share is that 100% of our students will participate in some type of experiential learning. So that's internships, service learning, job shadowing, or clinicals, depending on what your program requires. And that's huge. Students do graduate with real hands-on, real world experience before they graduate. A couple of other stats is 96% of our students do receive some type of financial aid. So we really do look at students on an individual basis based off of need and all of that to make sure that we are making the education as affordable as possible. 94% of our graduates have received a job before or within 6 months of graduation. And I know some students are also looking at, you know, what's student life look like. We do have currently 17 Division III teams. We're adding 3 new teams in 2021. We've recently added esports, women's golf, and excited to be adding baseball to our repertoire as well. We have 60+ clubs and activities. And the really cool thing about SAGE as well is that all of our clubs do require some type of leadership position. So it really encourages students to step outside of their comfort zone and take on, oh, I'm going to be president of this club. Oh, okay, I'll be treasurer of this club. So it really allows students to add things to their resume to be able to speak to after graduation. General application requirements, we are on the Common App, but we also have our own application right on sage.edu, so either or. I'm a huge fan of the Common App. I think it's a great way to apply to multiple schools. For first-year students, we require your high school transcript, at least 1 letter of recommendation, and then an optional personal essay. And we have been ACT, SAT optional for a number of years as well. So pre-COVID, and excited to be able to continue that. For transfer students, we do require similar, just all of your college transcripts, a letter of recommendation, and a career goals essay. And that is it for me.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm sorry that your presentation didn't work, but you did a phenomenal job of going without it. So thank you so much, Russell Sage College. I know I'm not the only one having trouble speaking today. Okay, well, I want to thank all of our presenters today. It was so wonderful to learn a little bit more about your institutions, your programs, and what makes you all unique. We are going to move now on to a Q&A portion. I have some prepared questions for our expert panel here as well, but also the Q&A is still open. So anyone who's joining us today, if you would like to use the Q&A to submit your questions, please feel free to do so at any time. I'm going to share my screen here briefly. And our first question that we're going to kick off with today is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? We're going to go in the same order. So we'll start with the College of St. Rose. What's your advice?
Yeah, great question, right? what to do? My best piece of advice would be to visit campuses. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult right now, but a lot of colleges are doing these virtual visits. But at St. Rose, we are doing on-campus tours. Get yourself on campus, walk around, try and connect with the atmosphere, do some people watching, and just get yourself acclimatized to the campus and try and envisage yourself living there for 4 years. I think those campus tours can really not be beat.
Great, well, thank you. Maria College, what is your advice?
Thank you. My advice would definitely be to do your research. There are so many options out there. And if you know what's valuable to you as a student, as a consumer in that sense, do your research to make sure that any institution you're looking at is up to your standards and is the best fit for you.
Fantastic, thank you. Suffolk University, what's your advice?
So my advice would be to talk to as many people as within that school community as possible. So admissions, people within financial aid, talk to students who are interested in the program that you're interested in or who are studying that program, talk to faculty in that department, really get to know that community by talking to as many different people as possible. And then just one other quick advice is make sure you take advantage of the college essay and make sure you proofread it, because that's really a great spot for you to tell the person reading your essay what you're really passionate about and why you think that you'd be a great member of that school community.
Great advice, thank you. Wheaton College, Massachusetts, what's your tip?
Yeah, I'm really glad that Brian said that, because I think mine was actually going to play off of the second bit. Mine was going to be authentic and be transparent with your counselor. I think sometimes people are intimidated by communicating with their counselors. And honestly, the best thing that you can do is just be authentically yourself throughout the process, whether it be through an interview, whether it be through an essay. Like me as a counselor, I find it very helpful if I'm reading your application and you're telling me about maybe something that happened either on your personal life or just a really exciting experience, something that's going to help me as I'm analyzing and assessing your entire application. I'm only here to help you. And I definitely can help you out as best I can if I have all of the information. So I definitely would just say use your counselor as a resource.
Great. You know, it's good advice when the whole panel nods in agreement with you. We'll hear now from Russell Sage College. What is your advice? We'll have you close this question for us.
I think my advice, to not really repeat what has already been said, is don't be afraid to be undecided, or don't be afraid to change your mind. This is a huge time in your life, and use it as an opportunity to explore. I like to use myself as an example. When I first went to college, I thought I wanted to be a CSI, and I graduated with a business degree because I realized I didn't want to spend my entire time in a lab. So it is okay to change your mind, and you know, any school that you go to should have your best interest in their mind and helping you find what's going to be, you know, your path.
Great. Well, thank you. We're so fortunate to have this expert panel here to share their advice. Our next question is going to help us get to know a little bit more about each of these institutions and programs. So our next question here is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus? We'll go in the same order, kicking it off with the College of St. Rose.
Yeah, thank you. We actually just had my favorite event of the year. It's our mac and cheese bake-off. Different people will bake different mac and cheese recipes, and the winner this year was the smoked Gouda and bacon mac and cheese.
That is always a winner. I love that event. That sounds amazing. Thank you so much. Maria College, what's your favorite?
Well, it's hard to top mac and cheese night, but at Maria, we do have a tradition of a white tea ceremony. This is designed for our graduates in our nursing programs across the board, and it's a pinning ceremony. All of our soon-to-be graduates will dress all in white, and it's a beautiful event to really see the culmination of all of these wonderful students' efforts, even prior to graduation, in a very intimate setting with the community.
That's lovely. So thank you for that. We'll move on to the next college now, Suffolk University.
So one tradition that I always think is cool is the freshman year boat cruise. It's one of the first activities that students do during orientation, and it's just a nice way to meet people and really kind of get to know the members of the freshman class. And you also do another one your senior year, so it's kind of a nice bookend of your Suffolk experience, which I think is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a great event. Wheaton College, Massachusetts.
Yeah, so I'm actually a new staff member at Wheaton. I say that to say that I was very confused by this when I first heard of it, but they have Head of the Peacock, which essentially is we have our campus pond. And so essentially students will, their senior year, like build a raft of random items and try to get across the pond with our president as well. And it turns into like a really fun food event and just a space to bond with different students and stuff. But it's one of our most successful events, actually happening in a couple weeks.
That sounds awesome. Well, have fun with that. And then the last one, Russell Sage College. What's your favorite event or tradition? And you are muted.
My favorite is something that we call Rally, and it is a 2-week-long charity event that we do, and it's a competition between each class. So each class actually has a mascot, and so the first years, the sophomores, the juniors, and the seniors all compete in different challenges to say who can raise money for, in each recipient of the charity varies each year, but it's a great way for the classes to get involved with each other, a friendly competition to raise money for a local and a national charity.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Russell Sage College, for sharing that. It was so great to get to know a little bit more about all of your campuses. I have an unexpected surprise for all of us now. We had a 6th institution that was supposed to join us, and they've arrived after some technical difficulties, so I'm going to give them the opportunity to give their presentation. Thank you so much for participating in this Q&A, and then Hudson Valley Community College, whenever you are ready.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm having, it's been one of those kind of days. So
I can relate.
Yeah, right. Awesome.
We're all going through the flow here, so we've got an adaptable group.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So I'm glad to finally be with y'all. I did watch the entire presentation, so that was great. But I'm Rachel Jones. I'm an admissions counselor at Hudson Valley Community College. We have been working closely with students, especially within the last year, to make sure that their experience has been similar or as similar as possible to make sure that they get the traditional college student experience. As of right now, we do have 3 different schools. We have our School of Health Science, and we have our School of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, otherwise known as STEM. We have our School of Business and Liberal Arts. And each of these programs opens up different opportunities for students who want to go into the academic field after completing their 2-year degree, and potentially transfer on to a 4-year college after completing their first 2 years with us. So we actually, as of this past couple of months, we've gone over the health sciences. Some of our programs have very restrictive entrance requirements. And so through those entrance requirements, we've been able to determine which students are ready to continue on in programs such as X-ray, or otherwise known as radiologic technology, nursing, and dental hygiene. For our business and liberal arts programs, we do offer several opportunities within marketing, business, psychology, accounting, digital media, theater arts, as well as several other opportunities. School of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, we have several programs that go into the STEM field for students. With our STEM field and our health sciences, we've made sure that the equipment that our students are using, the hands-on equipment and in the labs that they're using, are going to be tools that they can use in the field once they've completed their 2-year degree. We also offer several opportunities for them to earn internship hours that can potentially become employment opportunities, and can help them earn the skills that they need for these fields. So like I said, within School of Business Arts and Liberal Arts, we have several opportunities for students within internships as well, going off to Disney. We have different opportunities for students to travel to the different Disney parks. Obviously, right now it's been somewhat restricted. However, we have still been able to open up chances for them to build up communication with these different parks, what they can do to prepare for them for the upcoming semesters. And then within psychology, we have different courses that students can take if they want a career in that field. We do have our state-of-the-art technology within our labs. So we actually have a new building that was opened, and you can actually see it down below. But this has opened up several opportunities for students going into technology, going into mechatronics, and it just shows a great display of tools and equipments our professors have been able to use, and showing them hands-on exactly what they need to know about going into the workforce. And again, we offer several internship opportunities. We have labs on campus for auto tech. So students are working with automobiles. They're actually working on employees' cars or students' cars to give them that real in-depth experience. In our School of Health Sciences, we do offer clinicals within these courses, and these can be essential, especially when they're wanting to go on into the workforce. We have opportunities for students who would like to go on to I apologize, to Samaritan, working with them, earning hours towards programs such as medical sonography if they want to work as an ultrasound technician. These programs do equip them with several hours that they can use for those fields. And when they become employed within those fields, they can also use those hours back towards our program and our entrance requirements for the different programs. We have had clinicals on campus going on through the year. We've maintained, social distancing to accommodate our students and our faculty and staff safety. So an awesome opportunity. And then we do offer different supports for our students. Even virtually, we've been able to accommodate students if they needed a private one-on-one tutor, if they needed different accommodations for testing. We've been able to provide the resources, whether it's through peer tutoring or if it's through a professor on our campus. They've been able to meet with them virtually at any time of the day through our office hours. And so we do make sure that we maintain that communication with students, especially now when, things can be a little strained. So we do offer counseling for our students. We do offer screenings for our students. We have a lot of activities that go on through our clubs. We have over 80 clubs on our campus as well. And so say there's a program that we don't offer on our campus that you're looking for, but it's something you want to participate in, maybe in a club format, we do have an abundance of clubs available on our website. And if you ever want to see if you're eligible to participate in the club, or if you want to sign up and be recruited by them, they do have their online form that you can fill out, and then they'll reach out to you and meet with you to discuss this. We do have several sports, and actually as of this last year, we included esports for our men and women's esports for our students as well. And then again, virtually, we have been offering a lot of events and opportunities on a virtual format for our students to get to know each other, to get to know our faculty and staff, including college fairs and job fairs, reaching out to the students, letting them know what's coming up and what they can look for. Our college is incredibly affordable at $2,400 per semester. So by the time students graduate within the 2 years anticipated, they have under $10,000 for their 2-year degree. And then I wanted to follow up and finish up actually with our contact information for different departments. I'll also include my contact information if you have any questions, like you can see below, but I'll also include it in the chat if there are any further questions about entrance requirements, particular programs. If you didn't see something, but you wanted to know more about a program you've heard about, I'd absolutely love to be of assistance.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad that we were able to hear. It was definitely worth the wait. So thanks for joining us here. And sorry for the tech issues again. But we've made it to the end of our session. We got to hear from all of our fantastic institutions. So I want to thank everyone one last time. Thank you to our presenters who told us about their wonderful campuses. And thank you to all of our attendees, whether you're here live with us today or you're catching the replay. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we would really appreciate any feedback that you can provide about today's event so that we can improve them for the future for you all. This is one of many events, so please join the next 2 sessions that are happening yet today, and then tomorrow there's a schedule as well that you can hop into. And then today's event and all of the others will be available at strivescan.com/CASDANY in about a week. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care now.